This last weekend was the June Commoner Crawl, our last one before the summer break, and our first chance to get the new heroes on the table. And aside from just being a normally awesome time, as it always is, we put 3 different ninjas into the top 4, as well as, that's right, a Levia. So today I'm recapping the event and covering the top 4 decks, lists, and all. A huge shout out to our channel members for supporting what we do here. If you want to get involved with the channel and the Dice Commando community, please consider joining as a channel member. Remember, these videos are only possible with your support. You can show that support with a like, a subscribe, and by leaving us a comment and sharing your feedback. Community first, and go Commando. Hey there, my flesh and blood friends. Welcome back to Dice Commando, and go again, a fabulous cast for another installment of Dice Commando here on the channel, bringing you the Commoner content. Today, specifically recapping our Commoner Crawl event, which was this last weekend here in Portland, Oregon. Collaboration that we do regularly with Fab Foundry. Remember, my single source, code below. Use it, link it, go to Travis. I actually just got my shipment today. I got it in the mail today. I ordered it on Saturday night at like 11 p.m. and it came today on Tuesday. Granted, we live in the same city, but still, that's pretty impressive turnaround. So thank you, Travis. You rock, my man. You rock, my man. All right, so this last weekend, Commoner Crawl. Now, this was a big one because it was, 3 days out? 2.5 days out, even by, 3 days-ish from release of Part to Misfail. So it was going to be very exciting to see how the new heroes, not just the new heroes, some of the key cards changed the format. So we were over at the Nebulous Tap Room, which ended up being a pretty cool spot. So it's on the west side, which meant that we were worried we were going to get a little less attendance because a lot of times those east side folks won't travel, even though the west side folks do. So gauntlet thrown. But we did get a couple of the east side boys who actually did quite well in the tournament. 2 of them placed in the top 4. So congrats. Now, what I'm showing across the screen right now is the breakdown. So we ended up having 13 players, which is a little on the low side for us, but still 13 players. We had an Icelander, a Katsu, 4 News, a Dromai, a Benji, myself. We had 2 Zens. We had a Vincent, a Levia. Oh, we had 2 Vincents. My apologies. 2 Vincents and a Levia on top of that, right? So New was very scary coming into this. Luring Inducement is just a crazy card, needs to not be in Commoner, if we're being honest, right? But they didn't put any in the top 4. So, there's wishes and hopes and dreams and feelings, and then there's results. So as I mentioned, we did put 3 different ninjas into the top 4, and then the Levia. So in first place was Kevin Kennedy. He took me down in the finals. He was on Katsu. I was on Benji, the Piercing Wind, and I got second, losing in the finals. We had Adam Hill on Zen, who I played against in the third round. I played against Adam in the 3rd round. And then he was in 3rd place. And then in 4th place, just on the tiebreakers, was Cameron Summers on Levia. Okay. So very, very interesting. 3 different ninjas and then Levia. Okay. So what I want to do today is go ahead and recap those lists for you. We'll start with Kevin Kennedy's list, the Katsu list. Now, I do want to provide a bit of a disclaimer. This is essentially Cameron Summers' list from last Commoner Crawl, I believe, that he won on. Okay. So they've made not really any tweaks on this one either. I didn't see any new cards in here. And by that, I mean like Misveil cards in here. But again, it's just a good deck, and Tigers are strong. And Tigers are strong, right? Because remember, Key Unleashed has always been a common since Dynasty. Just because it was reprinted as a rare in the latest set doesn't mean that it's not still a common, okay? So what we see is we see the 4 Surging Strikes, red, yellow. That's the bulk of what he's trying to do here, right? He has kind of like some mini combo stuff going on. So Surging Strike, Whelming Gustwave, red, blue. And then we have Leg Tap, and the Rising Knee Thrust is also a combo line. We have red, blue, Soul Bead. 1-2 Punch is also in there, along with the red Head Jabs. And then we go into Bettering Thorns, which is kind of like bread and butter ninja. Card is stupid good. He is playing Descendant Gustwave. 1 Salt the Wound, 1 Open the Center. Okay, that's again on the combo line. Wounding Blow, also very, very frequently seen in Kodachi lists because it attacks 2, blocks 3, blue 0, right? You get it, bread and butter. 2 Scar for a Scar because it's really good. Then Ride the Tailwind and Be Like Water. And then we have Pouncing Key ×2 and then Key Unleashed. I always say it wrong. Ki Unleashed for explosive stuff. Now in the sideboard, you can see the sideboard kind of in the second column there from the left. He has 2 Sink Belows and 2 Oasis Respites, and then Null Hood, Gloves, and Boots. So it is interesting. There's no Tide Flippers here. Functionally, there's no reason not to play Tide Flippers, but it really doesn't matter because their Tide Flippers is 2 or less, and that's not really what they're trying to do. So it's effectively, it just doesn't matter, right? It's just the right include. Okay, as far as the loadout, you can see you've got 2 Kodachis, got Tearing Shuko, Best of the First Fist, Pouncing Paws, because those both are stupid. And then we have Mask of this is the Call a Card, the combo mask, okay? Not the Draw a Card mask, okay? So again, very well done list we've seen be very consistently good. And again, no new cards in there at all. Be Like Water looks like, Ride the Tailwind could go, like Be Like Water could probably Windmill Slam in for Ride the Tailwind. Other than that, I don't know what else you change, right? I don't know that it needs change because the deck's clearly good, clearly doing what it needs to do. Right, let's move into my Benji list. Now, I am going to be making some changes to this list, which will also be a video in the future. So expect that to come. What I will be covering today is my list, and I'll put in some comments there. But again, we'll make a video in the future on the updated list with the changes I'll make. Okay, so the big play on Benji, the reason I decided to go with him this time was really Biting Breeze. Biting Breeze being the blue is effectively a double strike. Biting Breeze yellow is, basically 3 unblockable, right? Because the idea being you lead with it because it has natural go again. You hit with it because they're probably not going to throw 2 pieces of armor to block it because, again, this is a low armor format unless you're up against the Guardian. But still, they're not going to throw they're generally not going to throw it. Create the Tiger, and then the Tiger can come in, absorb Benji's ability, and come in for 1. It's really, really, really good. So I wanted to try that and see how it went. And on top of that, again, with the Tearing Shuko and Pouncing Paws combo with Benji is just 2 free damage, right? Plus it can set up your combo for, again, like your Bouncing Sheet, right? So we've got 2 Kodachis. I was playing the Draw Mask because it's really hard to stop Benji from getting the hits, okay? The Shukos, of course, the Kitty combo. And then I was playing Blood Scent as well because I was going to do Blood Scent with a pop-off for the Pouncing Key, right? Just clearly set up the combo. Okay, so as I mentioned, Bittering Thorns is, of course, a staple, so it's in there. I was playing Water the Seeds. This is a really, really crazy good card, in my opinion. Did not work super great in my deck, right? The sequencing was weird. It wasn't a bad card, but that's one of the changes I'm going to be making, okay? I do have blue, yellow Head Jab. I have yellow Ride the Tailwind, just natural 2 go again. Push the Point. Okay, so what you see in this deck is the strategy is kind of little swing big because you don't want to be a Benji who's just shipping for 2 on every card because if you don't eat up their hand, then they're going to come back hard. So you need to be able to like kind of set up a big swing at the end. That was the logic. And it worked. Okay, so Push the Point, right? If you do a 2 unblockable into Push the Point, works awesome. Coming up, Kodachi, 2 unblockable, right? That's only a 3-card hand, very doable. Battlefront Bastion is a main deck. Okay, card does really good things as a yellow popper, blocks, and then blocks again. Super awesome. You can see I was playing very defensively there, running the full suite effectively of the Commoner D-Reacts with Springboard, Fate, and Sync. Flying Kick ×2, Biting Breeze ×4. Like I said, that was the main thing I wanted to try. Be Like Water is not in there so much for the combo. It could work, again, for the 1-2 punch, which we see I have a full blue-yellow suite of there. It could totally work. But by and large, Be Like Water is still just it's the same as like Ride the Tailwind and that it's a 2 go again that's yellow, right? The Soul Beat Strike is in there as blue, not cracking any eggs there. Scar for a Scar, also really good when you start with lower health, unblockable. Then I had 1 of Whelming Gust Wave, Salt the Wound, and Ki Unleashed. That's another change I'll make. I'm going to run 2 of them just because the speed, I did not anticipate the speed at which the games would go. But again, I ran up against a lot of ninjas. So I was thinking I'd only need 1, but in retrospect for how it worked last week, I should have had 2 to help me get that combo earlier. Again, with the call it the Tiger equipment suite. Okay. And then 1 Salt the Wound because, I needed a filler, and I thought that was the right play versus a blue be like water, because I had a lot of blues. I did fight an Icelander, by the way, round 1, and I was able to pull that out. It was squeaky, but we were able to do it. And then in my sideboard, I have Freewheeling Renegades and Oasis Respite. Okay. All right, moving into Adam Hills, and I do want to give a shout out. I believe this is also Billy Horn's deck. I believe they collabed on this. So this is going into Zen. Okay, not going into Zen. This is the Zen deck. So you have to excuse me as I'm still learning the card names, and I'll have to zoom in. But we have a full suite of Harmony of the Hunt, Red, Blue, Pouncing She, Companion of the Claw, Red, Blue, He Unleashed, Blue, Red, Bittering Thorns, Red, of course, Sink Below, Red, Scar for a Scar, Red, Flex Claws, Breed Anger, Untamed, right? Look at all those 1/4 go against. Oh my goodness, so delicious. Tiger Form Incantation, Flying Kick, Red, Blue. And then Grain That Tips the Scales and Preserve Tradition are the 2 Chi cards, Transcend Chi cards. And then Razor Reflex was in there as well. In terms of the loadout, they went with, of course, the Tiger Staff, Mask of the Three Tails, and then the Blood Scent Shuko Paws suite. Did have mask. They did have the Tiger Mask, the Mask of Wizened Whiskers is in there. Red Bastions and Red Fates, stack of Tigers. And then I saw 1 Boots, but they're also shy 1 card. So you will see in the list, I think it just probably didn't get laid out. You'll actually see in the list that I built in the link. I went ahead and put the, I think it's on the chest. Maybe it's on the hood. I don't remember, but I did put a piece of Null Rune in there as well to balance that out with where I thought that it would need to go. Okay. So, and I think it's on the I think it's on the fist. I think actually. Okay. So because you don't need that as much with the Kakara. I think that was my logic there. Okay. So that's Adam and Billy's deck as well. And then moving into the spicy list of the day. Okay. Spicy list of the day. We have Levia. So first off, I want to draw attention to the loadout. There's some very interesting things here, right? So Hope Merchant's Hood, Goliath Gauntlet, the Hooves, that one's not surprising, and then Heart and Cross Trap. So Goliath Gauntlet, Cross Trap, not really surprising, right? If you're trying to like just push damage on big turn, those aren't surprising. Hooves not surprising. Hope Merchant's Hood is interesting, right? To do the right thing, or to get the right things you need. It's a pure Hellhammer build. That's the only card they have. There's a really nasty play that you can do with the Hooves and Hellhammer where you can intentionally close the chain, right? Do the thing, and then you can like leave the action point floating, close the chain, and then pop the boots, and then come with Hellhammer, right? On there, it's a pretty cool move. Okay. So going into the deck, we do have Oasis Respite and Sink Below. Those are again sideboard. Then you see Levia. Leviathan kind of pulled everything to the side there for us. Right, so going through the deck, we have 1 Wild Ride, 1 Bear Fangs, 2 Pack Hunts red, Dread Screamer, Graveling Growl. Those are both in red and blue. You can see them below. We also have, what's this? It's Tribute to, I told myself I was going to remember this and I didn't. Tribute to Demolition. Okay, Dreadwood Rumbler we have in yellow and blue. Agile Windup and Mighty Windup in yellow. Pound Town, Graveling Growl already mentioned. Hungering Slaughterbeast also is in red and yellow. Boneyard, Marauder, and Unworldly Bellow. And if you go down in the blues, you see Wrecker Romp. It's a staple. Dread Screamer, Dreadwood Rumbler, Battlefield Breaker, Bone Breaker Bellow Blue, Smashback Alehorn, and that rounds out the list. Very, very interesting deck here, but hey, it worked and it did things. Yeah, they won 3 games. So nicely done, nicely done. So yeah, that was very interesting with the number of, kind of recapping the tournament. Like I said, very interesting. I was really afraid that New was going to run in. Obviously, everybody agreed because a bunch of people showed up with New. If you think about it, actually, we had 13 players there and 6 of them on New heroes, right? Meaning 4 News and 2 Zens, right? So just shy of 50% of the field on PTM, which is probably a little bit of fun, but also because people, I think, really think New's good. And I do think she is as well. I just think that right now, Ninjas with that equipment suite, pretty good. Like, pretty good in Commoner. So anyway, that'll round out the video today. Lots of talking, lots of images, but the links are below. Again, if you appreciate this, a like goes a long way. A comment goes even farther. Really appreciate it, and go Commando.